Good coffee morning. Well, today the Trump administration, but I'm not giving Trump credit for this thing. This is politics. This is nasty ass politics. Trump should get no credit. Trump is the signer in chief. The man can't read. He hasn't got a clue what's going on. He knows what people tell him to do and not to do. His only genius is hiring the right friggin' lawyers to protect him. That's it. The man's never worked a day in his life. Never lifted a shovel unless it was gold-plated. Doesn't know a thing. His benefactor, Mr. Sheldon Adelson, of gambling wealth, helped him build and go bankrupt on his first casino in Atlantic City. So these pals go back a long way. This is a small circle of chum lovers. They love to throw chum out. Look at Trump's fucking career. That's all he sells is chum. Just put blood in the water and see what you can get to surface, right? And people's egos, shit, that's what we watch on TV. So what's going on here is a long game. It's a game crossing generations. And it's a lot of wealth and power. And it comes from natural resources and necessities of American life, like energy, raw materials. Every good that we don't recycle takes a ton of earth being extracted from somewhere else on the planet. But it's not in our backyard, so we don't notice. This is large wealth. This is why in Congress, corporations have a seat at the table. They have this thing built in that allows them intimate contact with representatives, and it makes representatives richer than fuck. And it's a game you can go play if you have no morals. You can play it easily. So these soap operas, these short news shit things that were being offered did not bring up the history, the long sordid history and machinations of organizations. I'm going to use Koch Industries as an umbrella group because of the amount of wealth that single privately held, poorly audited company has brought to our politics. They will pay for churches to argue about women's rights. They will pay for preachers at the pulpit to stand up and lie to you, willfully or not. Some of these people don't know. They've been so poorly educated, their world has been so small that they don't know a poor person from a homeless person, from a veteran, from all the street urchins in our cities that come from the countryside, that come from these people that don't like the cities. They don't want to recognize the size of our planet and the interactions and the complexities that are there and being managed already. Large organizations. So this Koch Industries thing, underneath them are other groups in Kansas that are funded by these things, by mega churches, and they invest in national politics. They cross state lines to do their deeds. And they've been good at it. And they've worked under the radar and around the laws. They spend more time with lawyers figuring out how to get around laws than follow them, than improve them. They don't want a level competitive playing ground because you start to discover false prophets inside of these things. So We are being played with a short game. Women's rights, reproductive rights, was fairly well settled. There are details still left to work out. But pretty much the medical profession has decided the harm of not providing these services far outweighs the good. The power it gives a woman over her own future and life. The power it gives a family in making family planning decisions. Because that's probably one of the most important things we can do. Is think about our family's future and not ourselves. Another rant. Don't smoke cigarettes, kids. It's fucking nasty and hard to quit. So much for monetized.